now from Washington, member of the Foreign Relations Committee, Democratic Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut. Good to have you on board this morning.
Morning, guys.
Good to see you, Senator. What's the next move for Democrats in pushing back on this order?
What's the next effective move?
Yeah, well, we're going to introduce legislation this afternoon that's going to give Congress and Republicans some options to repeal this executive order. You've had enough Republicans go on the record who have reservations in the United States Senate to be able to get to 60. That doesn't mean the House will vote for it. It doesn't mean you'll get a presidential signature. But you might get enough Republicans joining us to make this even more uncomfortable for the president. Frankly, I think our effort is still to support the legal option. That is probably the fastest way to get this overturned. But we're going to put in legislation this week that'll make it clear that 1965 law that says you can't discriminate based on religion or national origin prevails over any presidential discretion that Trump is using.
We have Mark Halperin in New York, and he has a question for you right now.
Senator David Ignatius has suggested before that a lot of people think what the president did makes the country less safe. Could you just tick off the ways you think this long-term, short-term makes America less safe rather than more safe?
So I think this is the most important argument for us to be making, because right now we have ISIS on its heels, and their rationale for existence is based on a belief that they are going to control a territory in the Middle East. That is no longer available to them as an argument. But secondarily, that there is a war between Muslim and Christian peoples, between East and West, and we have now handed them a path to rebirth. This is going to be all over the dark web, recruiting both international terrorists and lone wolves here at home. And then in Iran specifically, a country that is right now tilting between hardliners and moderates who want to engage with the West, this is a huge win for hardliners. This makes Rouhani's job even more difficult. And if you're really worried about a conflagration between the United States and Iran, this makes it much more likely. So this ultimately is going to get Americans killed. I believe it. And we can make the moral argument. I think that's important. But the national security argument probably should lead here.
Jon Meacham is in Nashville.